Excellent!
Hey guys, and welcome back to Paul's Hardware. Today's video is all about the brand new Corsair Graphite Series 760T computer case. And I would be saying this is my review of this case, but I'm never really comfortable reviewing a product or a case in particular until I've actually built a system in it. Unfortunately, I am planning to completely redo my personal system in this case very soon, or as soon as I possibly can at least. So stay tuned for that video coming up in the future, where I'll be giving a lot more sort of feedback as far as building in the case and that whole experience. For now, I'm going to do a basic unboxing. I'll be going over all the features and giving you guys a nice close-up look, as well as giving you a few of my pros and cons, just initial feedback, taking it out of the box and getting a closer look at it. So that said, here it is, the Corsair Graphite Series 760T. So after getting it out of the box, first we'll take a look at the packaging. You have very nice thick closed cell foam, and I don't usually talk about packaging, but I want to mention it here because these boxes are often used to reship full computer builds, and that's very nice to have extra padding. Also a black shroud that protects the finish when you first take it out. Now this is the white version of the Corsair Graphite 760T. It also comes with white LEDs throughout, and there's another version that's available that has a black finish with red LEDs. It carries over some of the look from the Corsair Graphite 600T a little bit, but in style it's really much closer to the more recent 230T. I do really like that there is more metal to the finish, although there is still a lot of plastic on the front bezel. Dimensions are 568 millimeters high, 246 millimeters wide, 564 millimeters deep. That's 22.4 by 9.7 by 22.2 inches. You also have tons of motherboard support for all the standard motherboards you'd expect, plus eATX and XL ATX, so lots of flexibility there. On the front panel you have a headphone and microphone jack, 2-speed fan control, a couple USB 2.0 and a couple USB 3.0 ports, as well as backlighted white reset and power buttons. At the top we have our first potential radiator mount, and there's a ton of radiator support in this case. You can fit a 360mm or 280mm rad up here, and you also have a removable magnetic top panel that you can leave on to reduce some of the noise if you don't need the airflow. You also have three front 5¼ inch bays. One of them has a little fold down panel for your optical drive, so you can sort of maintain the same look, which is kind of nice. And then just like the 600T, there is a pop out front intake dust filter. I absolutely love these, and I will never run a case that does not have removable dust filters. Behind the dust filter, you can see two of the three included 140mm AF140L fans. The two on the front have white LEDs. Also up here you have support for a 240mm or 280mm radiator. On the left side you have a hinged side panel with a full window, and this is one of the features that really jumps out at you. I love the easy access of the hinged side panel. I do prefer the kind of lift up and off method that the 600T side panel had, to be perfectly honest, but what can you do? The doors can be removed completely by simply lifting them up off their hinges, so that's very nice. Then on the back you have some hex ventilation right up at the top that shows how much radiator height there is. Also a 140mm rear exhaust AF140L fan, though this one does not have an LED. Standard IO shield knockout, and then 9 expansion slots for that XL ATX support. You also have a standard bottom-mounted PSU, and then on the bottom of the case you have really wide, sturdy stands with rubber feet on the bottom. There's a 120mm fan or radiator mount that opens up if you remove that drive cage that's above it, and then you have a nice removable dust filter for the power supply as well, which I also like. The right side panel opens up just like the left, although it is opaque rather than clear, and it provides a nice look at the cable management area. You also get a first look at that black interior finish, and it has black front panel cabling as well, rubber grommets for the cable routing holes, a very generous CPU backplate cutout, and then back here you also get 4 2.5-inch side-mounted tool-free SSD trays, which I really like. These cages are really simple to use. They're also easily removed if you don't need them, and they're positioned to put the connectors in a really ideal spot to show off the drive. And sorry if this Vertex 2 brings back any nightmares for anybody, by the way. I'm also quite fond of the angled top part of the motherboard tray, which gives you a bit more space for radiators as well as routing cables behind the radiator. Apart from that, you have a little more than an inch of space between the tray and the side panel, and you have some thoughtfully placed cable tie downs as well as many options for passing cables back from the main chamber. Moving on to the interior, beneath the smoky glass window, we have a removable, reconfigurable drive cage configuration. So you get 2 drive cages out of the box and support for up to 6 3.5-inch or 2.5-inch drives. You can also maybe find a way somehow to buy 2 more of these drive cages, and then you can actually install up to 12 drives here total, plus the 4 2.5-inch side-mounted SSD trays, of course, so tons of drive support. You get a really nice black painted interior, pre-installed motherboard standoffs, plus the nice permanent anchor point at the center that will kind of hold the motherboard in place while you secure down the rest of the screws. Here's another look at that rear 140mm exhaust fan, and then below it the expansion slots do come with black thumb screws. You've also got 3 tool-free 5¼ inch drive bays up at the top, and then for graphics card support you can do up to 340mm cards with the drive cage installed and 460mm cards without. That 2-speed front panel controller is powered with a SATA plug, and you get 4 3 or 4 pin headers that use 3-pin voltage control. Also, your standard front panel connectors with a kind of unfortunate burst of color, but you get block plugs for USB 2.0, USB 3.0, and HD audio. If I have a complaint initially here about the 760T, it would be the power supply mount. Some padding here would have been nice for some noise and vibration reduction. Also, the hard drive trays are a design that I've seen many times before, and I generally despise. They need to be flexed and kind of wrapped around the 3.5 inch drives, and the 4 plugs just never really seem to like to stay in place. But overall though, damn, the 760T is beautiful and it is packed with features. So at first glance, the Corsair Graphite 760T strikes me as a fantastic case. I really like the design, I like the window, I like the fact that you've got this side panel latch you can just open and everything. And I really like how I managed to get all of this plastic back on there like perfectly. Isn't that amazing? Continuity. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys, and if you're interested in when you can buy this case, and I know a lot of you are because when I first tweeted a picture when I picked it up, I got a bunch of tweets back to me saying, where can I buy that? When can I buy that? And the answer is now. You should be able to buy it right now. I'll post a link in the description to this case for sale over on Newegg, and while you're down there, go ahead and click the like button. Maybe leave me a comment in the comment section about what you think of this case and what you speculate the hardware might be that I might be installing in it, and whether or not I might be planning a water cooling loop at some point. Did I just say that? I hope I didn't say that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. See you all next time.